Hey guys, this is Sage Valentine, and this is my review of NBC's The Apprentice Celebrity Edition, Season 14, Episodes 5 and 6. Alright, so we'll start with Episode 5 and we'll get right to it. And I promise I will not keep you guys too long. Alright, as far as Episode 5, the project was a Cosmopolitan 4-page fitness editorial and some stuff for the Cosmopolitan app, and Jamie decided to be the project manager for Team Infinity, and Johnny Damon decided to be the project manager for Team Vortex. As far as Team Infinity went, Brandi was upset that Jamie became the project manager. Sean and Jamie both decided, since this had to do with fitness and they were athletic, that they should be the faces of this editorial, which was fine. But then Kenya had ideas about the editorial spread. She was well versed in Cosmopolitan. She was talking about the sexiness and things of that nature, and it didn't translate well with the girls because it seemed to them like Kenya was trying to take over. And they kind of should have listened to her because they lost, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Then you get to Team Vortex, where Geraldo wants the group to take selfies, and as always, Geraldo's trying to take over. Terrell Owens comes up with this tagline, says, "Love your selfie, naked." Geraldo is acting foolish as always, and he hugs Johnny Damon too long, and then he takes his shirt off and his pants off and just shows too much. I said too much to the viewers because I didn't need to see all that. But he had to show his sexiness. And of course he enjoyed nakedness. We all saw your selfie, Geraldo. And he claimed that he started the selfie boom and this whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, Geraldo, bye. Alright, then we get back to Team Infinity. Okay. Now, the group didn't listen to Kenya. And the group decided that they wanted Brandi to be the model for the editorial spread, when really I think Kenya should have been included in this, considering that she used to model and she tried to give Brandi tips. Brandi didn't like that, and oh my gosh. And to make a long story short, Brandi got so mad at Kenya and I guess she was tired of Kenya telling her what to do. So the next thing you know, Brandi's in her bra and panties and a towel sitting on top of a very nice looking man's lap. I was cracking up. Meanwhile, Team Vortex, Johnny Damon brought his wife, who used to be a Sports Illustrated model, and she was posing in some sexy pictures with him and this whole thing. Meanwhile, on Team Infinity, now, Jamie's the project manager, but somehow, some way, I guess with all of this thing with Brandi and Kenya, Jamie lost control of everything. So like the concept of this project was here, there, and everywhere. And it translated to the presentation because the girls lost. And the reason why they lost, according to Don Jr., was that there was a disconnect and there were 3 different spreads. So as I said, here, there, and everywhere. And with the guys, all they had missing was a lack of diet and fitness, but they ended up winning. So all that Jamie had to do with the boardroom was bring 2 people in. At first, she was going to bring in Brandi and Kenya. Then Brandi somehow convinced her, because Trump asked Brandi who would she fire. She said Kenya and Kate. Then all of a sudden, here comes Jamie bringing Kenya and Kate. And then she, for some reason, regrets it. And she's talking to Kenya, who convinces her that maybe she should bring in, that she made a mistake and she should have brought in Brandi. And this whole thing, and Trump was just not trying to hear it. Basically, Jamie came across as a weak leader and ended up getting fired. But what made me laugh about the episode was how, from left field, here comes Lisa, who seemed to have an issue with Kenya. And then I thought about it and I said, you know what? Considering, I guess, after what happened with Keisha Knight Pulliam, maybe Lisa wasn't that happy about how Kenya kind of threw Keisha under the bus with the whole Cosby thing. I'm just saying. So then we get to episode 6. And Geraldo's running his mouth saying that Brandi seems bitter and angry. And I guess the plan is to try to take out Brandi, but what they don't realize is that Donald Trump has a monkey wrench and he throws it and he switches the teams. So now Infinity consists of Ian, Kenya, Brandi, Lisa, Johnny, and Terrell. And Vortex has Vivica, Kate, Geraldo, Sid, Sean, and Lorenzo. So the final project is a fundraiser selling wedding dresses. And right off the bat, Team Vortex is like, listen, if Kate doesn't, reach out to her contacts, if her checks don't come in for this, she's out of there. Now, on Ian's team, on the other hand, Brandi disappears after having this panic attack, which she basically attributes to the stress that she's going through dealing with Kenya, which I didn't see Kenya doing anything, but whatever. And Brandi swore that she was doing her work while she was in her hotel room when Ian called her. So, let's see where she was. And she pretty much did what she was supposed to do. So, we see Terrell Owens, and he seemed reluctant to call people. He's not really doing much of anything. But when it came down, to the actual sale, they had to get everything together to sell these dresses to the people. And Ian added Chippendale dancers to come and take pictures with the women and hug the women. And Geraldo had himself and Kate as bride and groom to get people in. And at the very last minute, Kate's check came rolling in. She was lucky, very lucky. The dude driving up in this white, expensive Mercedes, whatever the hell that was. It was expensive. So when they get to the boardroom, Geraldo Rivera is shocked that Ian Ziering was able to pull $165,000 all by himself. Yeah, be afraid, Geraldo. Be very afraid. Ian said that Brandi and the entire group did well. Brandi did well even though she had her panic attack, and Kenya did well as well. So to make a long story short, both groups raised almost $600,000. There was only a $2,500 separation between the victory, and Vortex, Geraldo's group, won. Geraldo was confident the whole time that his group had won. So my advice is to just let Geraldo be the project manager for every other project so he doesn't sabotage you. That ego, like this big. So anywho, when it came down to taking people into the boardroom, Ian took Johnny and Terrell because they made the least amount of money because he saw the girls, Lisa, Kenya, and Brandi as working hard. So Ian basically said that Terrell should be fired because Terrell didn't bring in the money that he should have, which, yeah, he was pretty much on point with that one. And Terrell Owens was fired by Donald Trump. Alrighty, guys, so tonight's 2 episodes were crazy, messy, and I'm here for it, and I cannot wait until I find out who Vivica is calling a toxic trick. I also can't wait for next week's episode, which is going to be super duper sad because it's like one of Joan Rivers' last appearances on a show, a reality show, and basically her last appearance on The Apprentice that she won. I think the Celebrity Apprentice before last. Anywho, guys, you all take care. Sage V here. Don't forget to rate this video, leave your comments, and subscribe to my brand of crazy. And if you like what you see, pass it on. Also, check the links for my social media pages, Google Plus and Twitter, as well as take care. And there's no Sleepy Hollow review this week, guys. Probably a Walking Dead, but no Sleepy Hollow till Monday. So until next time, bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.